So in Romtelecom, we, apart from the normal voice data communication, we try to invest with our customers in seeing something more holistic. There's 11,000, I think, new companies every month coming to Romania. Am I correct, or something like that? Something incredible. So this is really the place to be, and that's why I'm quite happy. It's the right timing, I think, but it's also the right, let's say, growth, which reflects the Romanian, let's say, desire to advance, and your level of standard of education and so on makes this place very attractive for new business. So in order to, let's say, help and support these medium or large enterprises, we would like to accompany them in providing all the, let's say, the type of the infrastructure related to data communications, voice, and going up to the computers and to the hosting of systems. Again, we don't think this is an outsourcing model in some way or another. What I will talk a little bit about later is one of those best practices that makes systems integration effective and, let's say, productive and fast into the organization. I will highlight a little bit about ourselves as telcos, how we can, let's say, provide other value services in the area of managed services as well as system integration. It's a struggle about prices, it's a struggle about, let's say, reduction of costs and things like that. And usually people are, focused on these short-term, let's say, approaches. And we as IT people can come up and say, well, okay, how can we help our business by providing the flexibility to enable to have competition, and not only to focus on, let's say, the price and everybody competing around the price, but let's focus on differentiation, on added value. So our role as, in the IT sector is to come up to our top management and our CEOs and our salespeople and try to provide this environment whereby we can unite people together from organizations of the customer and Romtelecom and other, let's say, technology providers to have a 24-hour operation in many, many areas and distributed over VPNs and so on. So the wave of IT, the new wave of IT, is to create this customer-driven organization whereby we have a lot of channels of communicating with our customers, via call centers, via direct communication, key account managers and so on. We are all in this area and we have to talk with our customers and to create the best possible solution. It's not a customization. Sometimes it's customization, sometimes it's products. It depends what is the type of market segment we are addressing. So when in the company of that, we need to have, let's say, services. In the telco industry, we need to have voice, data, content, television. In the banks, we have similar type of, different types of products, but in a similar organization. And in order to do so, we need to have the people in the organization that are having the same vision about things, sharing the same values, but sharing also the same picture of the customer. We cannot process a customer if we don't know his, let's say, the situation, his needs, his priorities, and this is about business intelligence, CRM. These are very important, not only systems, but values, I would say, ways of working. So if we don't have pipeline management and analysis of priorities and things which are embedded in our culture, but also in our information systems, we won't be able to be differentiated in the market. And we are seeing many waves in IT, and I would say the challenge for us is to see through this wave and take the right wave, so that we can, use it as much as possible. And from Romtelecom perspective, from my perspective, my experience, and I'm sure our colleagues, it is not the huge capex projects that bring the true value to organizations, because the business changes very often. The requirements are different, the pressures are different. The banking sector is interested in, now under pressure from Basel II, I think from the EU, in risk management, to see what are these, let's say, potentials and ride the right IT wave and not disperse ourselves into many, many, let's say, platforms or solutions. The dolphin is a very good example, the way that it rides the waves. I'm sure there are dolphins in the Black Sea. So there's different phases of the wave, and the IT wave, a lot of us are, we've gone through the phase of gliding over the waves and playing with the water. Then, we're trying to stand on this wave and select the right wave of technology, and which is corresponding best to our organization, but also to a cost-effective, let's say, process. And the third is like really to perform. And once we have the infrastructure and we have this architecture that we have in a company, then we can do very small let's say, iterations on top of it, smaller investments, but which have incredible value to the organization. Okay, so again, small capex projects, controllable projects, but with a very fast impact and a very important impact to your customers. This is, I think, the goal of IT. And in order to perform this, it's not the most easiest way, but it is a skill building process. And if we don't team up with the right, let's say, partners, we will probably lose a lot of these waves coming up. So it is important to cooperate with the right partners. And again, banks are very advanced because you people are connected to your end users, and you have these protection requirements as a very top need. And once we get our infrastructure okay, then we say, how can we climb up to the added value part? And the added value part is starting from an ERP, let's say, that's also an infrastructure. I regard it as a prime infrastructure. And the good thing about the ERP Business Suite is that it's very flexible to service-oriented organizations by having very fast implementation cycles. Billing, purchasing, e-learning, banking. I mean, these are part of the new wave, let's say, of IT, and all linked into one service-oriented architecture. This is an example of CRM. I mean, CRM as a customer relationship management. I'm sure there's a lot about it here today. We need to have users on board, the end users, the commercial people that must lead the project and have small, visible results, fast results, time to market. For example, in Romtelecom now, we bring out products every 2 weeks. It is about the quality of the technology, it is the quality of the solutions, the quality of the software, but it's also the quality of the people that are making this company. And this is a very important soft issue which we have to stay and think about. So we want to share vision and values with the companies we like working with. So, for example, Romtelecom with banks, it's something that we can share a lot of things because we have the same, let's say, challenges and so on. The strong competition, development and so on. Or with technology company. It doesn't mean that you have to be with your same type of company to share values and to work with. I mean, an IT company with an IT company, okay, you will find close relationships. The issue is how to blend, for example, Oracle with Romtelecom. What does Oracle represent? What do we represent? How these things make sense. Capitalizing on acquired skills and team working. When you do a project, it's not only the result you're looking for, it's also about the journey. What do we do? With the previous slide we saw about the, the dolphins. They're going somewhere, but they're also enjoying it. They're not going there because the water is good or because they will have a lot of fish when they end up in the other side, but they're having the fun. They're riding the wave, right? Riding the wave. And they're doing it quite intelligently, actually.